What's up, everyone? Welcome to Bluegrass State of Mind, the show where three college roommates
talk life, sports, and all the ridiculous things that happen in an apartment we like to refer to as Room 302. We're bringing you stories, hot takes, and the kind of late night debates that probably should have stayed in the group chat.
So grab your headphones, sit back, and get ready for a wild ride through our past college life, sports, and everything in between. Let's get into it. This is Bluegrass State of Mind.
Welcome back to another episode of Bluegrass State of Mind. If you are watching us through live or not live, but if you're watching us via where you can actually, the media, like you can see us, then you can see that Mason is not here with us tonight. He's actually working on a house, which we totally get. He's trying to move in, trying to repair some things and get that all set for his family. But Bluegrass State of Mind continues. We will continue on as long as you all continue to listen. So we're going to start out tonight with obviously some UK stuff, but we're going to be starting out with some UK basketball highlights that we've been seeing. Colton, I don't know if it's just me, but I know it's the fall will be here before we know it, and the football season is right now here. But I'm just not. I mean, I want to talk Kentucky football, but I'm just not seeing. I'm not seeing much. It's not like I'm actively going out on Google and saying updates on Kentucky football, but I follow plenty of Kentucky sports stuff, and I know you do too, on X and maybe on the radio here and there, but I'm just not really seeing a lot of, unless there's something I'm missing. I mean, but once again, I'm not actively going out. But before we get into this basketball, is there anything that you want to, I just don't have much.
Yeah, no, outside of us getting that recruit that was that baseball and football player, both that's coming in as a quarterback, one of our higher ranked quarterbacks we've ever got, and he's a really good baseball player too, coming to play both. It's been pretty quiet, but I think that's because I think UK is kind of starting to become realistic, right? I think the fan base is back down to that level where our expectations are going in pretty low, right? So like 5, 6, 7 years ago, we went on a stretch where like expectations got high, right? You were like, okay, we're starting to compete with those.
Well, they had a 10-win season. I mean,
right. I mean, you had a 10-win season. You constantly were making like what you done. You beat Florida like 3 straight years, right? You were starting to beat those type of teams, and like really the only couple teams you weren't beating was Georgia, Alabama, Tennessee, and like maybe someone else. And other than that, you were pretty much competitive with everyone else in the SEC.
Yeah.
Well, now it seems like those teams are back to being better, and Kentucky's like slowly getting worse. Now you're seeing like a Vanderbilt kind of pull like what Kentucky did.
Yeah.
Right? Like they're getting into that stretch where kind of like we were, where now they're becoming competitive. And so I just think that it's pretty quiet because I think the expectations, right? Right now, with how good the SEC is, and what Kentucky football is, when you look at that schedule, who do you see on the SEC that we can beat?
Yeah.
Right? I'm not saying that we can't, but who do you sit there and say that's for sure a win? No one, not even Vandy anymore, right? Because like at Vandy, I'd say we're going to be the underdog at Vandy this year.
Oh yeah,
100%. So if you don't have those type of wins anymore, it's hard to get excited because I mean.
Yeah,
I think everyone's kind of fed up with a little bit of like the Stoops. Now look, Kentucky comes out and makes a bowl game this year, or gets like 7 wins. I really think that you'll actually have a little bit more fire lit under people. But I think after you go 4 and whatever, like 4 and 8 last year, or whatever we went, I think it's hard to get.
Yeah, there is actually. I was sitting here thinking I did see something today, and then I saw something the other day, so I do want to mention it. I did see where J.J. Weaver was signed by the Carolina Panthers.
Yeah.
Six-man hand is what I refer to him as.
Yeah.
So I mean, but that's not really nothing for this year. But that was a guy from last year, and who's been one of our consistently good players for the past couple of years that you could rely on night in, night out to give you everything he's got and he was just a good football player. And then the other thing, and I'm sure you've seen something about it, you just probably wasn't thinking about it, was SMU's coach had made some remarks about the SEC. Uh, and, Mark Stoops kind of responded to that in a sense. I don't know if you actually saw this or heard the clip of it. I watched a little bit of it, but it basically, Mark Stoops was inviting SMU's coach, like, hey, buddy, if you want to come over here, the grass isn't always great. Like, I mean, like that's pretty much the message he was sending. And I mean, I, I was happy to see Mark Stoops do that. Spit it how it is. I mean, just goes to
Yeah.
what you say. I mean, being in the SEC isn't. I mean,
Well, I mean, you take SMU, they played Penn State, which was a really good team last year, but like that's the thing, like SMU made it to the college football playoff last year, and truthfully, probably would have been about the seventh best team or eighth best team at the best in the SEC.
mhm.
Like, yeah, I
No,
mean, you
I
made
agree
a,
100%.
and so like that's, and I think the SEC had a down year last year, but they're also like with NIL, they're all just kind of beating up on each other now. Like
Yeah.
the worst teams are getting better, and so now it's just, I think it's across the board, kind of like you're seeing in basketball now.
Mhm. Well, let's kind of get into some of the basketball stuff that I had sent out. Just some thoughts. So, the first thing I want to start out with is I want to start out with our new point guard, Jalen Lowe. Uh, all over X yesterday and today, I have been seeing nothing but great things about how people from the inside, quote unquote, have gave some comments pretty much saying, Jalen Lowe is everything we expected, and he's even doing more than what we expected him to come in as. And you're talking about a guy who's coming off maybe not his best season, but I mean, just listen to these numbers still. I mean, coming out of the ACC, averaging 16.8 points, 5.5 assists, 4.2 rebounds, and 1.8 steals. A starting point guard in the ACC with those numbers. I mean, I guess what makes me excited is, when you think back to last year, that's kind of what we was missing at times. Like we were kind of missing, like, okay, who's going to be who's going to go in and average 15 a night every night. And you could get that from Owe, but I think it's the way that he done it. Like Owe would do
Right.
it, and it wasn't, I guess, your average like 15 point per night go getter. Like
Yeah.
it was a lot
Yeah.
of
We
scrappy
saw him do
stuff.
that like twice, but other than that, it was pretty much a little like offensive rebound, a couple of dunks. Like it
Yeah.
wasn't.
So I guess I just want to hear your thoughts on that, like what that means for this team for this year. Uh, but also, like, to think that not only is this guy coming in and putting up those numbers from last year and already exceeding expectations, but he's also a guy with experience. Like it's not a freshman who's coming in, so he's had that experience. Are others looking to him and be like, okay, this is our guy. This is going to be our leader. Uh, do you see any maybe is him and Owe going to gel together? Can it be a Batman Robin? Can it be two Batmans? That's another thing to think about, because you think of Owe. I mean, he's the last guy to fully commit, and we built this whole roster around Owe. So is he going to enjoy that company of the stardom? I guess you could say. But what are your thoughts on the whole Jalen Lowe situation?
So I do like, I'm like you. I mean, I don't know. I guess are you referring to, did you watch the Matt Jones kind of like podcast, like a
Yeah,
little
I
bit?
watched
Yeah,
some of that.
give it a
Yeah,
little update, which is where I kind of got my information from Jalen Lowe also, which is good because one, he wasn't at first choice like they were talking about on there. Like you're right. Like he wasn't the guy that we were like, oh yeah, we got to go get him. Right. Like we didn't have a point guard for a while. He was kind of what was best available, and we were happy to get him. But there were still question marks. One, he was in the ACC. ACC was not very well last year. Pittsburgh didn't end up making the tournament last year. So you kind of like, okay, can he come in and play SEC physicality? Right. I think that's still my question mark. Can
hmm
he still be physical? Right, with some of these SEC defenders, with some of the length and the size that's in the SEC, can he play that style of basketball when he needs to? That's going to be the question mark. But everything they've said, they said that he's been very impressive, more than what they thought he was going to be. Which what you got to have, because if you don't have a point guard, like a true point guard. We've had the couple years there in a row after we saw Cal always have a point guard. We saw those couple years where we didn't have a point guard and how much worse we were. And truthfully, so that I think the thing with him and Owe, my biggest fear I think is going to be I'm afraid that we're going to have a very like athletic team, but I'm not 100% where our scoring is just always going to consistently come from. So
Mhm.
my hope is that Lowe can be that, right? More than
Yeah.
what we think so. Because
Yeah.
like Owe, I
He's
think
a scrap.
Owe's
He's a scrappy
he's
guy.
a
He's
scrappy
not
guy.
like he's
He
not
is,
get your own,
but he's not that type of guy normally. He's really
which
not.
would work
And
perfect with Jalen Lowe. If Jalen Lowe
right,
can be that guy who can create and get his
correct,
own, with
correct.
Oway also tagging in, getting those scrap points, offensive rebounds, driving. He's just like
Yeah,
I agree with you. Like he's not going to get that open shot or create his own shot. He did
yeah.
unless he in the off season and
Right,
just
maybe he's developed it, but I just don't think that, like, that's the one thing that worries me because I think we have a team full of athletes. I think we have a team that's deep. Like, I think we're a lot, I mean, the depth is unreal. They're talking about Trent Noah being, like, shooting the lights out right now, which is
Mhm.
exciting to see because outside of him, if he can't shoot the lights out, I don't see him getting a whole lot of playing time given the athleticism that's in front of him.
Yeah.
But at the same time, there's not a whole lot of shooters in front of him, right? Kobe Bryant is not coming back. Jackson Robinson's not coming back.
I mean, the only other one I could think of,
I mean,
doesn't
we
have an
don't.
absolute clip, but I mean, Colin Chandler, he
Yeah,
can
no, like
shoot it. I
legit,
mean,
like he's going to be the closest thing to like a true shooter. Because I
yeah.
mean, and not saying that we won't find out some of these guys can shoot. I think several of these guys can shoot, but I don't think we don't have a single guy on the roster outside of maybe Noah that's really known for their shooting. That's like, hey,
Hmm.
like he's a shooter.
Yeah.
Um, so there's a lot of question marks, but I think there's a lot of good things that can happen. Like I think the potential is there. I think you have a lot of pieces. I think you're just going to have to kind of wait and see. It could be one of those developmental seasons that where it's like you're going to start out trying to find out who can be the guy, what type of offense are you going to be able to play like an actual like half court offense, or is it going to be like, hey, we've got to run and gun as much as we can
Yeah.
because we don't have that true like half court guy. That we ran into that last year, right? We didn't have a
Hmm.
true half court guy a lot of times, and that's when we got beat.
Yeah.
Um, it's interesting, but I know one thing I'm excited about it because we have a lot deeper team. We have a lot of veteran guys with experience, and
Hmm.
I think that they have a chance to be really good.
Well, it's much better than hearing like if he wasn't meeting
Right,
expectations. I mean, you'd
right,
rather hear this than that.
right.
Um, well, sticking to this year's team, I I'd sent you the picture of what I had seen. I'm sure you may have seen as well, but it was just mind blowing to me. So I watched another clip to understand like what this is. So is this is coming from Matt Norlander, and apparently Matt Norlander attends the EYBL, and what that is it's just a circuit for AAU basketball, and um, that's where he got this information at, I believe, was at the EYBL circuit. So EYBL is sponsored by Nike. So all your Nike AAU teams all assemble at this EYBL tournament. You have your Adidas circuit, your Under Armour circuit, your Reebok, like all, but this was Nike, which not always, but most of the time is the biggest of all the circuits because it is Nike. But anyways, um, it's come out that Matt Norlander has stated that Kentucky is believed to be dedicating 45% of its 20.5 million revenue budget to the men's basketball for this upcoming season, which is approximately 9.225 million, which is also 3 times what most SEC schools do. A lot of money. I'm sitting here thinking like, you have 20.5 million and 9.225 million of that is being filled in or thrown to just the men's basketball team alone. So there's a couple of thoughts that immediately come to my mind. First thought is that's throwing a lot of your eggs in one basket, and you are fully saying we trust you. We believe in you. Get the job done. The second thing that I really immediately popped. I don't know why, and I'm not trying to go back in the past or harp in the past, but I felt like the donors speak volumes here compared to when Cal was here.
Hmm. I thought the same thing when I read it.
Like if you could have like just imagine what Cal was doing with what he had without the
Hmm.
donors.
Exactly.
So, like that's a big storyline. I think it says a lot. I don't know who it says a lot more though about. My question, I can't really figure that out. Does it say more about how much the donors disliked Cal, or did it say more about how Cal couldn't get along with UK donors? Like I don't know what
Or
side is Well, there might
or
be another
does it
or.
or does it say, do they did they trust Cal enough to recruit without that type of money, and do they not, like, do they trust that
Yeah,
Pope
I mean,
can,
yeah,
I got to thinking that I was like, Cal was such a good recruiter that, like, did they think that they had to put that much money in, or was Cal getting these guys without that money? And then it's kind of like, our first couple of classes, or our first, class that, Pope's got in, and so far,
uh-huh,
like, it's kind of like, okay, like, is he going to be able to bring these guys in like Cal did? Because I think everyone was all in on the veteran type of team, right? Everyone was like, yeah, we want the veteran guys. And then all of a sudden, I think that last year people were like, I wouldn't mind having some of these 5-star freshmen,
yeah,
these guys we were missing. And so then it makes me wonder. I think people were kind of like, okay, Pope, like, we really appreciate, like, the hard nose, bleed blue. We like the veterans, but,
uh-huh.
like,
Still gotta get some
that
some
doesn't
dogs.
mean that you shouldn't go get some dogs. And, like, can you
Yeah,
go get those dogs? Because
yeah,
Cal could.
and
So
that's not
I,
even a
does
mention.
that mean that, like, hey, okay, we got to pour more money in so this guy can go get him because he's going to need the money to get him here.
Yeah, but that's not even a mention. Like all these other teams who are like, imagine that you're on the football team or the soccer team or
Right, right.
like the baseball team or the
Well,
swim
that was
team,
the
whatever it
thing.
is,
Like, and,
and you see
and
all this money going into the men's basketball, which
well,
you can only say
right,
so much because I mean Kentucky is I mean it's a basketball school.
right.
However, though, uh, man, I think there's just so many story headlines, but I really want to stick to the two that we had talked about. So, uh, let's just go off the Cal. So, what is your like? What is it? Was it because
Yeah,
Cal like what? There's got to be
yeah,
something that we're missing here. Not missing, but like that. I mean, that's $9.225 million that they are
yeah,
giving to Mark Pope.
yeah. I think Cal had burned the bridges, and I don't think it was I think it was a both way thing. I think that Cal had done an unreal job in his first 10 years. And on paper, while we only had one championship, people weren't satisfied because of how good we really were.
Hmm.
And so I think instead of being like, man, we've got to keep giving him this money so he can keep up, they were like, well, you had the best players and you didn't, like, win enough championships. So why are we going to give you this money now? And I think it burned bridges because Cal was asking for a new practice facility. Never got it. But who did get a new practice facility? The football team. And all of a sudden it was kind of like, what's going on here? Like, why is the basketball team not getting this?
Yeah.
And, I think him and Barnhart did not have a great relationship there towards the end.
No.
Right? They just didn't, because I think Cal was constantly wanting these different things in the athletic department and these things. But I also think Cal saw the future before the future. Right? I think
Hmm.
Cal saw all this coming. Like, I think he saw, like, hey, we've got to upgrade this practice facility. No longer is, like, the Kentucky name going to be enough. Guys are going to come and they're going to say, "Where's my money? Where's your facilities?" Right? Like, he saw it coming, and instead, I just feel like they was like, "Nope, we're not giving you any more. Like, you got to win." And your football team had a couple up years. They were like,
Hmm.
"Oh, we're going to give them theirs," and now it's kind of like football team is going back downhill,
Yeah.
and now we're like trying to reignite the basketball team. So I do think Cal burned some bridges, but I also don't think it was like just him. I think that the donors probably looked at it in a wrong way.
Yeah.
Like,
If And I want to, if anything, I think what this does to this year is it even adds more pressure to Mark Pope.
Yeah,
Like,
100%.
because I mean, like you're just sitting here and another stat thing that, or stat line that really, I mean, it said that it was 3 times what most SEC schools will
Hmm.
do. So you think about all the talent that take the Auburn team last year had, take the talent that your Alabama had,
Florida,
like Florida, yeah, Florida. We didn't even, I mean, didn't even think
national
about the national
champs.
champion. Yeah, like what they've done with without that amount of money, and here we are. And I mean, on paper, do we have a good team? I think so. Do we have a 9.225 million talent roster? In my eyes, no, I do not think we do.
Like, do we have an NBA player on the team?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, that's a great question. I mean,
Jasper Johnson,
uh,
maybe. Like
yeah,
in the future, maybe after a couple years.
yeah.
Oway if he gets maybe drafted in a late second round next year. But
And a
other than
lot of
that,
that is a lot of it is kind of the shift of college basketball. But at the same time, you
right?
still have to have a couple, like one or two.
Yeah,
Like you don't like where it
yeah.
used to be, like
I mean,
2014, 15, 11,
yeah,
12, like where you had 3 or 4 NBA guys. That's not really what the the format. Even though Duke had 3 top 10 this
yeah.
year, it's not the winning recipe. I guess is a better.
Right.
But you still need 1 or 2 NBA guys, and
Oh
like you
yeah.
just like $9 million. Do we have, like you said?
Right.
So I just think that this is that's a really big thing that came out. That
Yeah.
I
I mean,
mean,
I think Pope has pressure on him. I think people don't really want to say it, and I don't think it's a pressure like he's gone or anything. But I think everyone gave him. I think everyone was very pleased with what he done last year, given the short amount of time. I think
injuries.
injuries, other things, but I also think that people kind of looked at that roster last year and some of the things and was like, okay, like we did not have a good enough team to win it all. Like I
Yeah,
think people saw that and they were like, okay, we're going to give you that pass. Now you like this team needs to show that they can be the number one team in the country. Like
yeah,
we need to see that like this team is good enough and that you can coach and be good enough. Now you get into another season where you're pretty much 500 in the SEC, or you finish seventh, eighth, 10th, ninth again in the SEC after spending that type of money on a team,
yeah.
having
I
a
think
whole
that's where
year.
you get really
I think it's
dicey.
all of a sudden it's going to kind of be like, okay, listen, like especially given this is going to be Cal's first recruiting class, right? They don't want to mention Arkansas, but Arkansas brought in, he brought in a good transfer portal class, but he also brought in 3 guys in the top like 15.
Mhm.
And so then all of a sudden it becomes, okay, what if Cal goes to Arkansas? They finish higher than us in the SEC. He's got a higher recruiting class.
Yeah,
And then all of a sudden it just, I think there is a
slow
small
building
pressure
blocks
there.
of
I think
pressure.
there's a small
Just
pressure there, and
yeah,
that's how it's always going to be at Kentucky. But given the type of success that our past coaches had so early,
yeah,
Pope has to build off that, like Sweet 16. I think that's the minimum, right? I think you've got to get back to the Sweet 16, and we really need an Elite Eight. So,
yeah. Well, we'll just mention this real quick. We don't have to talk about it because we did talk about that. I'm glad we got to dive deep into that. But Carl Anthony Towns is inducted into the UK Athletics Hall of Fame. He was a 2014, 2015 alumni. He was part of the 38-1 team. I mean, averaged 10.3 points, 6.7 rebounds, and 1.8 steals. Um, Maybe when Mason comes back on next week, we could dive into like, is there any other guys that we would like to or could have been put in the Hall of Fame before him? I think that's something interesting to think about. Um, but congrats to Cat.
yeah, congrats, Cat.
But let's move on. And tonight we got a couple of different things we're gonna break up into. It's not gonna be all sports because we have been doing a lot of sports lately. But uh, what we're gonna do now is we're gonna do a little game, not a game, but it's where you have 3 things. You're gonna start one, bench one, and cut one. And you could do this with anything, but we're gonna do like a summer edition, like throwing it back whenever we were kids. So I sent this to Colton and Mason. So you have to start one, bench one, and cut one. And your 3 options were a backyard home run derby, a water basketball, and a slip and slide. So I'll start this out. So you have who I'm gonna go out with my starter. My starter is going to be. This was really tough, really tough. But I'm going to go with water basketball. Man, I mean, there's nothing like it.
I figured you were going
Like
water basketball, but you
like
grew up with
water.
a pool and a
Yeah,
basketball
I had a
player.
pool and I had the basketball in there, but like it was like there's nothing better than water basketball, especially playing with somebody who's like not like smaller than you, but just like a little bit smaller than you, and you can dunk all over them. There are no rules. I mean, I feel like whenever I was playing water basketball, I felt like I was like wrestling pretty much.
Oh
Like
yeah,
that's what
you're
it
getting
felt
out
like.
with scratches and bruises, and I
Oh
mean
yeah,
it.
there are no such thing as fouls. You don't
Yeah,
even call your own
no,
fouls.
no,
And it's
that's
also
not a
I
thing.
feel like it's FIFA rules or FIBA rule.
Oh
Like you
yeah,
can
oh yeah,
goaltending is in play. Like there
yeah.
is, it has to go all the way down. Uh,
Yep.
but I'm going to start water basketball. Uh, I am going to bench backyard home run derby. Man, like when I thought of that,
Yeah.
I just immediately thought about like I can picture it now. Like I would stand right in front of my garage, and I would have a home run derby. And my go to guys was I was either King Griffey Jr., Albert Pujols, and Albert Pujols was like the go to for me. Like I was at that time.
Oh
I've
yeah.
never been really into MLB, but I was at
Right.
that point in my life. Like that was, and then the other one that I would do it would be Prince Fielder.
Yeah, Milwaukee
The like
Brewers.
yeah,
Hey,
just a
that's a
big
throwback.
lefty. But those were pretty much like my three go to guys. But above all was Albert Pujols, and I just remember me and Lincoln Arnett would come, and that was just the first guy that I remember like would play. And if it went into the woods, it's a home run, and I feel like we would play for hours. I don't know, and then my cut would be a slip and slide. Loved it. Loved. I mean, I feel like whenever my cousins would come over, like that's just something you would get the cuts, the grass stains. And when I think of a slip and slide, I think of one that's not a fancy one, just one that you can buy at Walmart, put a water hose, and you just go at it until mud starts appearing. Then it turns into your mud slip and slide, and you just make it what it is. Not one of these big fancy ones that I've seen lately. Like when
Yeah,
they rent them
anymore
out.
I'm thinking of like a big tarp.
Oh yeah,
Like take a,
that would
like doing something like a big tarp or something going down a hill or something,
yeah. I
instead
mean,
of the classic little
yeah, see, I
single
think of
lane
the
slide.
yeah, that's what I
Yeah,
think of, like, and then,
yeah,
like, I would remember we'd try to go up it, and you would jump over them, and then you
yeah.
just get laid out. I mean, that broken bones probably or something, uh, but, man, I was like, "Man, like, were the good," like, when I think of those
Right.
times, you know what a movie I immediately think of?
Sandlot.
The Sandlot. Yeah, like,
Yeah,
like,
it's my favorite movie of all time. The Sandlot is number
like,
one movie by far.
just the
Oh yeah,
summer as kids, like, that.
yeah. Oh, it's
And
simple
you feel
times.
like, yeah, the simple times, but like even now, like it's just feels so weird because we're only 28 and 29 years old, but like
Right.
it's like man, times were so different, but they were like it's weird how like so I do kind of get when people say like our parents and even our like times have changed, like like
Yeah.
they would say they would rather bicycles to house. That's not what we would do, but what we
Right.
would do now is completely different to what kids do now. Like it's just
Oh yeah.
crazy. But go ahead, Colton. You have to start, bench, and cut. What are you rocking
Oh yeah.
with?
Oh, I'm for sure starting the home run derby. My grandparents moved to town when I was like third grade, and in their backyard it was surrounded by a fence, and they
Oh, so
actually
it's
had a
perfect setup.
pretty good sized backyard, and it was perfect because you could use the fence, and you didn't have to worry about like you could use the fence to straight up like hit the like actually have an actual home run derby,
Yeah.
and so it was awesome.
That was your go-to.
I'm a Chipper Jones.
Yep.
Chip,
Atlanta.
yeah, I've always been a Chipper Jones guy. That was I mean, it's going to go down. Him and Freddie Freeman are going to be my two like top Atlanta Braves. Andrew Jones. Um, I would probably, if I was on big, like a big tarp, like with a downhill
Yeah.
like water, like I would probably actually bench that one and then cut water basketball
Yeah.
because it would just depend who I'm playing water basketball against. I mean, I've been in water basketball games where, I mean, it was a bloodbath. And I'm like, my goodness, why did I get myself into this? Or get into it and there's someone bigger than me and I'm like, come on,
This was
like
supposed to be
this is a
fun.
terrible idea. Like I would just, I mean, not a good idea.
Yeah.
I mean, but so I would probably but I'm not going with the slip and slide. That's like the single lane with a little pool at the end of it. You just slide in,
Yeah,
walk
yeah.
back and do it again. No, I'm talking about you give me a side of a
Full on
hill and you
tarp,
give me a
slope,
big tarp, and I mean I'm riding for 200 feet
straight downhill.
just straight downhill as fast as you can go. So that's gonna be my lineup. But man, I mean that's just classic days. You know, you can't. Sorry, but you're
Nostalgic.
right. You're right. It's different. I mean, I sit there and think about that. How I mean, from elementary through middle school. I mean, we could go to someone's house and play 100 different things,
Hmm.
right? I mean, you would, but I mean, you'd be up the whole night and you would do all kinds of different things. And now heck, half the time you see kids like, I feel like they're out. Well, you see how many out at the golf course, right? That's their age,
Yeah.
right? They'll spend the whole day at the golf course or something like that. I'm like, man, I feel like at that age, I was doing
Oh yeah, I
three
was.
or four or
Yeah.
five different things during a day during the summer,
Yeah.
and so yeah, times change.
It it makes you think like I forgot where I somebody was talking about this the other day, and I was just like, like that is so true. Uh, but anyways, what it was is they were talking about how today parents, and I mean I'm a parent, and who knows, I might be this way, but like parents are like so focused on traveling everywhere
Hmm.
to do AAU stuff or travel this,
Yeah.
travel that at a young age of like a 7 or 8 year old. And it's just like they're missing out on childhood like memories like as a 7 or 8 year old.
Hmm.
Just go enjoy your summer. Like just and like I will probably do the same thing
Right.
because you want your kid to be competitive. You want to set them up for success, but like those are core memories that I remember. Even though I did play like travel stuff, but like it wasn't to the extent that I think it is today.
No.
Like where
Right.
it's every weekend, we're going here, we're going there, rather than just in the summers of June and July. Hey, go go play water basketball with your friends. Then the next morning you wake up and have a home run derby or like do the
Right.
don't you don't have to always do the sports like competition like
Right.
just in I forgot where somebody was talking about that, but I was just like that is so true. Like
Oh yeah. I mean,
like
that's what the world's. I mean, there's been a lot of conversation about that. You see some of that online. You sit there and see a lot of like coaches and people retweet how these kids need to be multiple sport athletes. Like, let them play other sports. Don't focus on that. And then there's a lot of coaches that'll sit there and say, like, they don't like traveling nonstop is not the best thing for these. Like, you have all
mhm,
these ones get into this travel ball, and well, I'll say this, and I won't get really deep into it, but you have a lot of anymore like the little league programs, around smaller towns. They're going away, and it's because a lot of these places are taking just like the core group of better little kids, and
mhm,
they're only doing travel ball, right? Well, I think the travel ball is a good thing, but when we played, we did both, right? You played little
yeah,
league and you
yeah,
traveled, and you know
yeah,
what that did is there was kids that didn't get to travel that when you got to high school were big parts of the team, right?
mhm,
And they didn't have that experience, but luckily they were playing against the same, they were playing with and the core group guys in the little league program. Maybe they didn't play in the travel ball, but now you got a lot of kids that they only focus on this core little group. And look, truth is, by the time you get to high school, there half of them may not want to play, right? You never
yeah.
know when you get to that
Could
age.
get
So,
burned out too. I mean,
right, I
it's
just think that it's good to play. I'm like, you play multiple sports, play with multiple people, combine all these things because when you get older, you just never know.
yeah,
And to me, you have a better chance of being well rounded doing
yeah.
something like that.
Uh, Yeah, and another thing I mean, just to add on before we is like you just never know genetics, especially
Mm-mm.
like I think of game of basketball, which has probably the biggest, and but like a kid
Right.
who didn't play, then over the summer comes into middle school, grew
7 inch growth spurt.
7 inches.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they're like, oh, this guy's
Hmm.
6'2" now. What
Right.
happened?
And no,
And then
and no one
they
gave him
say,
the time of day
yeah,
during Little League because,
we've seen that too many times.
absolutely.
Uh, all right, well, that was a good. That may have been our one of our best segments, and we didn't have Mason. So
Yeah.
you know what, Mason, you just missed
Yeah.
out on a good one.
You're missing out.
All right, well, let's get into the NFL. We're specifically, I want us to highlight. I guess I did send us the AFC South, but let's just talk about really Titans. I was going to wait because we possibly would have had a guest on here, but he couldn't make it. So let's just stick to our Titans. Um, one thing that I've been hearing a lot of noise is Cam Ward. Uh, been seeing a lot of things. I seen a little clip. I'm sure you saw it too of some of the
Hmm.
throws that he was making. Obviously, he probably is going to be our starter. Will Levis had to undergo. Did you see that picture of his
Oh,
shoulder?
awful.
That was messed
Awful.
up.
I'll be honest with you. I'm hoping that buys him another couple of times because if someone can look at that and not see why his
Yeah,
shoulder was in pain, and maybe even look at that and be like, okay, the fact that he made any throws at
yeah.
all
I mean, that
is
was messed
impressive.
up.
But yeah, he's out for the season. I mean, he's
Yeah,
having surgery that's essentially going to keep him out for the entire season. So,
which places Cam
but
Ward pretty much as QB
right, which
one.
maybe gives Levis a chance to finally sit and learn for a whole year, right? Even though I know Cam Ward's a rookie, but he can learn defenses. Like he can study what the other team's doing. He can see and read them from the sidelines. He can watch more tape.
Yeah,
So it could be, and I hope obviously he gets a recovery and he gets another chance at it one day, whether it's with the Titans or someone else.
yeah.
But yeah, that's right. But yeah, you're right. Cam Ward has been making some noise. They talk about
Showing
how
up to
hard of a worker
practice
he is, right?
5 a.m.
They
every
talk about
morning is
these
what I've been
extra
seeing.
film sessions, getting there early, staying late, and the things you want to hear in your rookie number one overall pick. And truthfully told, I think it's just going to be I mean, I just don't think the Titans have a lot of talent around him,
Yeah,
So I
absolutely.
think you have to be a patient year. Hope that he develops. Try not to have him lose confidence. Help him grow, but you can't like what you can't afford is him to lose confidence. You can't afford for him to get hit every play.
Mhm.
Um, so let him learn, be competitive, whether or not you win or not. But there's not a lot of talent.
Well,
There's not.
that leads me what I was going to talk to you. So there's what 17 regular season games?
Yeah, yeah.
17. Okay. So there's 17 games. I don't know if you looked at the schedule. I glimpsed at it. But just on the top of your head, based on, like well, obviously they play the coach twice, Jaguars twice, and the Texans twice. And then I'm just going to name some. I'm trying to think. They got the Raiders, the Cardinals, the Chiefs, Seahawks, Saints, Browns. I may be missing one or two, but anyways, what is a realistic?
To
What
me,
realistically do you see the Titans winning? Like, how many games do you see? What's their record going to be?
realistically, I think it's realistically, I think it's probably I'd say it's probably 8, 9. I think
Really?
that, yeah, I do.
That's more than what I thought. I
I
had
think they're
them
gonna
going
win
like,
about. I think they're gonna win at least 3 division games, maybe 4 division games, and they're gonna sneak 4 other wins out somewhere else.
okay,
Um,
that's better than what I
I
had
th-
them. I had them honestly going like at best I had them
well,
going
okay, I'll say that's
6 and
realistic.
11.
I think realistic is 8, 9. I think anywhere from 6 and 11 to 7 and 10 to 8, 9 is like. I think 8, 9's also probably. I think 10 and 8's the ceiling, or 10 and 7's the ceiling. Like
Mhm.
that. I mean, that would be like they shocked the nation.
Okay,
And
well let's just while we're here, let's just walk through it then. Let's just. All right,
yeah,
so week one,
yeah.
uh,
Give me the names.
Titans.
I'm going.
Week one, we play Titans at the Broncos. I got us losing that.
L
Okay.
0-1.
Week two, Rams at the Titans. I got us losing.
Uh,
I think
we'll say 0-2.
Week 3, Colts at the Titans. I got us winning that one.
I'm gonna have
First
a
conference.
W. Yep, and probably Daniel Jones maybe as a starter.
Week 4, Titans. Uh, Actually, I don't know if I'm going this in week. I think I am. Yeah. Okay. Week 4, Titans at Texans. I got an L there.
Loss 1-3.
Week 5, Titans at the Cardinals. And then I'm going to go ahead and mention week 6 as well, which is Titans at the Raiders. I have us winning one of those two. Either it be the
Okay, they could
Cardinals
probably
or
win
the
one of them.
Raiders.
They probably win one of them. You're right. So we'll say 2-4.
Okay. Patriots at Titans. I got us winning that one.
That's probably a win. That'd be a tough. I think the Patriots are going to be
Yeah,
a
I think
very
it's going to be tough, but
physical team. Like I think the
I think,
Patriots will.
I think with, I just went completely blank. What's their coach's name? That was our coach for with
Vrabel.
yeah, with Frabel coming back. I just feel like there might be a little bit of noise and be like, okay,
Right.
let's get this win. So I got them winning that one.
So that puts us at what 3-5.
Yeah, we got 3 wins so far. Next one is Titans at the Colts. I got us losing that one, but that might be one that we win both. I don't know. The Colts are not very good either, but
Yeah, we'll say. I think they're going to get. You know what? I'm going to give them a win. I'm going
okay.
to give them a win. I think the Colts are going to struggle at quarterback. I just don't think. I mean, Daniel Jones may have a resurgence. I do not
Uh-huh.
think Anthony Richardson is it at all.
They
At
are.
all. They've been a good one for Daly to come on. So
I
I'd sit
know
there and be
that's why.
like, done. You don't have it like
Yeah.
it just yeah.
Then we got the Chargers at the Titans. I got an L on that,
Well, you
but
know, I don't know. I mean,
that'd
okay.
be
I'll
that'd be
say
a
this:
3
they were
games
going
in
to.
a row.
I will say this: they're going to win. They would either win at the Colts or home against the Chargers. I'll give them one
Okay.
win. So since I gave them the
Okay.
Colts, like I won't give them the Chargers.
Okay. Texans at Titans. I got an L again. I just don't. I think the Texans are the real deal. I do.
I'm not going to be sold on them because I
Maybe
think
not the real deal
Stroud.
in a sense like
We'll see.
winning,
We'll
but
see We'll see if Stroud comes back or not. I think they did not take that leap last year like everyone thought they were going to take
mhm.
after what they done the year before. Stroud regressed. People got some film on him that tank. They had an injury. I mean, they are going to be a good team, but
Well, I think. Well, then let me tell you the next game is the Seahawks at the Titans. I think we win one of those. I think
okay.
we're either going
So
to
yeah,
win
we'll
Texas at
go one of them
Titans or
here.
Seahawks at Titans. I think
So
they
so
win one
that's
of
so
those.
that's 5 wins, right?
Then you got the Jaguars at the Titans.
I'm taking it.
Okay, I will too.
So that's
Then we
six
got
wins.
Titans at Browns. I think that's a setup game where we go and lose. I just do. I
It
think the Browns
probably, but now at that point of the season, the Browns could be on their like third quarterback and tanking or
possibly.
something. So okay, so we're at 6 wins, right?
Yeah.
Who's left
I, uh,
at Jacksonville?
last you got Titans at 49ers,
Loss,
Chiefs at Titans, loss
probably loss.
probably. Saints at Titans. I got us winning that
That's a
one.
win. So that's 7
Yeah. And then the last one is Titans at the
at
Jaguars.
Jaguars. I mean, Jaguars cannot be very good either.
Yeah. So, but
Okay,
we're right on that
yeah,
line. I
we're
mean,
right
we're
at
like,
that. So it could go either way, give or take one. There could have been one we stole in there. There could be one we lose.
yeah,
Most likely it would go the other way. Like there's probably more one that we lose that we shouldn't lose.
yeah. I agree.
Yeah, if you take care of business at home against the teams you have, you got a chance to have that type of season.
Hmm.
Because there's not a whole lot of road games. I think at Jacksonville, at Arizona, at the Browns, and at Las Vegas, and at the Colts. Those are the 5 games that if you can find a way to win 2 or 3 of those 5, you got a chance to have a pretty good season on the road. Like those
Yeah.
are the two. Those are the 5 road games that I think you've got a chance to go in and actually compete with. Other than that, I think you're not
Yeah.
competing.
Well, if you go out, let's just say like go out and win 8 or 9 games, which would be, I think, a really good season for the
Oh
Titans to
yeah.
do. And then you just think about, okay, then next year, the new stadium, I think you start to get the fan base excited.
Oh
Okay,
yeah.
we
hundred
have our
percent.
QB
Like if
one,
it's if
we got a new
yeah,
stadium. Like here we go. But this is the resurgence. This is the resurgence of the Titans. So,
I agree. And I mean, you don't have it. Like I said, your salary cap should be okay. Like you've created a lot of room in salary cap. You don't have a lot of guys.
Go get a guy that could be a playmaker.
Go get a guy. Bring in some playmakers, surround him. Make sure you
Yep.
have your offensive line where it needs to be. See what you can do.
Yep. Okay, well, let's move right along. So, our next topic that is non-sports is coffee. Colton,
Coffee,
coffee. Should
man.
coffee be drank hot or cold? Well, before I say that, though, can we agree? Can we agree that there is this stigma, or like that if you don't drink your coffee straight black, you're not a man. I drink my coffee black. I'm a man. Like, is that like? Can we agree on that? Like that? Like,
Oh
is
yeah.
that
I mean,
like?
I'm somewhat there. I mean, not that I think that other people should, but I've kind of
No, I
reached
know,
that
but
point.
that's what people think. Like,
Oh
it
yeah,
or if you like. So for me personally, I could care less what kind of coffee you drink. Like, that's not a thought. Like, I don't care. Now, have
yeah.
I drank my coffee black? Yes, today after I was in a little accident. I was like, you know what? I need some coffee. I just want to. So I just, and I didn't have anything around me. I didn't have any sugar, didn't have creamer, nothing. So I just drank it black, which sometimes I just drink it black. Would I prefer it black? No, I do not. I do not prefer my coffee black. Um, but I want to hear your take on before you how you drink your. I want to
Man.
know hot, cold. Should it be allowed to be
So
cold? Is it
so
okay? Like what?
this yeah. So this one's tough because I drink a coffee every day, but right now I drink so after my workout each morning I get my McDonald's coffee and I get it uh a large coffee with two sugars. That's it. No cream, just two sugars, and like that's like my reward, and it's hot. But I will say, like the majority, 95% of the time, I'm for hot coffee. Like I just think it should be drink hot. Like that's where I'm feeling like it's supposed to be like meant to wake me up. So between
Uh,
the hot of the coffee and kind of like the kick of like the
the
oh man,
caffeine
that's
coming.
the caffeine coming. So like that's to me, I'm hot. Now I will say this: we've had a very hot summer, and there have been days when like I finish my workout and like I'm sweating,
Yeah.
and like the last thing like I cannot seem to cool down. Like I might go out for a run, like or a walk or something around the track at the high school or something, and it's already 80 degrees at 7 in the morning or 6 in the
Yeah.
morning or whatever, and I'm like when I get done I'm sweating. I get in my truck, I can't get cooled off. The last thing I really want is a hot
Uh-huh.
cup. So like every now and then I will get like an iced coffee,
Yeah.
but only in situations that I'm like hot.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I believe it needs to be drank hot. Like I'm on team hot.
Yeah.
Um, I like an iced coffee, but I've got to be like almost like sweating or thirsty.
Yeah.
If I'm thirsty, I might drink an iced coffee,
Yeah.
but other than
Yeah.
that, no.
I agree. I think it's a seasonal thing for me. Other than the fact if I
Yeah,
wake up really early, like during the wintertime, I do not want anything cold. Like during the wintertime, fall time, every all my coffee is hot. Like, but yes, I put creamer in mine. Uh, Claire's got a kick on me on this oat milk creamer. So yes, I use the oat milk creamer if I want. But when I go through McDonald's, I do 3 sugar, 3 cream. I get that. That's my order for a large coffee. But in the summertime, unless I wake up super early, like on a Sunday morning, if I wake up early and I don't go outside, like I'm just waking up, I'll drink it hot. But during the summertime, I'll have more ice or frappuccino, whatever it is, like the like a just it's cold. So I think it's a seasonal thing for me. But now, like I said, in the winter and fall, you don't find a cold coffee in my
right.
hands. But I could care less about if
Oh
you
yeah.
drink your coffee black or not. But I do, like I do know
I
that
mean,
that's a thing.
when
Like
I
they're
first
like,
started drinking as a kid, it would have been probably 60% milk and the rest coffee and sugar. Like, but now, I mean, as I got older, I had a job in college in which I had to wake up several nights or several mornings at like 2 or 3 in the morning
uh-huh,
and travel on the road. And that's when I started slowly. getting closer to almost just a black coffee,
Yeah.
and that's kind of where I'm at now. But then there's some days when I want more sugar, or even I'll add a little creamer to it. Like I'll mix it up.
It's not even that for me though. It's the taste. Like the black, sometimes it just tastes so. Like I never have a quench like, ooh, I want black coffee because it
Oh yeah,
tastes
yeah,
so
no,
good.
yeah, oh
Like
and no, it
that's
doesn't taste good.
yeah. That's
It
not my
doesn't.
yeah.
It does
That's not
not
my
taste good.
thought
But I think it's what
process.
wakes me up. I'm like, oh
Yeah.
gosh, all right, I'm up.
Have you ever heard have you ever heard coffee makes you live longer? See, that was something my grandparents told me because they drank coffee all the time. They're like, coffee makes you live longer, and I'm like, I need to get some coffee.
I don't know. It might. I mean, I've drank it for a long time, but like I said, it went from being half milk, sugar, and half coffee to all of a sudden slowly to like maybe two sugars and no creamer.
Yeah. Well, regardless, if you are not a coffee drinker and you're listening to us, do something right and become a coffee drinker. There's nothing like it. So good. Real quick, what's your favorite coffee spot?
Oh man. I mean, I will take McDonald's coffee over anyone's.
Really?
Hot coffee for
Hot
100%. I'll take
coffee?
McDonald's hot coffee. I'll take McDonald's coffee over anyone's. But like an iced coffee,
Yeah, ice mix, frappe, frappuccino, Starbucks.
man.
I
I
feel like you
mean,
got to go with.
see, I'm not
Oh,
a
see, like
huge
like the mixture,
Starbucks
like the
guy.
frappuccinos, the frappes. I
Which
think
I don't
Starbucks is unbeatable.
see.
But I would,
I would go to more of a like local coffee shop for like an iced coffee or something like that. Probably
yeah,
like there's a couple in
I love
Glasgow.
me some Starbucks.
Like I mean they're building
There's
one in
been,
Glasgow, so yeah. So I mean you're gonna they're building one in Glasgow, right?
yeah, that's what I heard. Yeah,
In front of Jersey Mike's over there, like that area.
yeah, yeah. That
But
little,
then that's gonna give them Dunkin', that Scooter's
yeah.
place over there,
Dunkin', their
Starbucks.
iced coffee is amazing too. I loved it in college.
So I mean,
Uh,
but there's a couple
but
of those coffees. Have you been to the coffee store there on the square?
I have not, but Claire's been multiple times. She said it's
Yeah.
good.
So yeah, that would be
Huh.
somewhere I would probably go. But as far as hot
Yeah,
coffee, give me a McDonald's $2
McDonald's.
a large hot coffee over
There you
anyone's.
go. It is that's where we're gonna be when we get older. Right before we
Yeah.
go play golf, we'll
Yeah.
meet up at,
Right.
McDonald's. Like the
Absolutely.
all right, let's get to our last segment tonight. None other than the record-breaking charts. Just throwing them. I mean, just throwing them out the water. I think it was like 45.6 million. Views on Netflix. Happy Gilmore 2. The cameos, the stars, they're everywhere. So before we get into talking about it, let's just talk about the golfers that were in this. I'm going to throw out all these names and then we can elaborate. You got Jack Nicklaus, Fred Couples, John Daly, Corey Pavone, Lee Trevino, Nancy Lopez, Scotty Scheffler, Rory McIlroy, Justin Thomas, Jordan Spieth, Xander Schauffele, Colin Morikawa, Keegan Bradley, Tony Finau, Brooks Koepka, Will Zalatoris, Bubba Watson, Ricky Fowler, Bryson DeChambeau, Nelly Corda, and Paige Spironic. Football stars, Travis Kelsey, and did you know that the guy on the other uh the team what was the other team
The
called?
Nazi
Yeah, team
was
was
Reggie Bush.
Reggie Bush. I did
Yeah.
not
Saw
realize
that.
that.
I didn't either
Uh
initially. No,
yeah,
I
I didn't
didn't.
realize
Did
that.
you know
That's
that that the Screech guy was Screech from Saved by the Bell?
was it really him?
Did you watch the yeah? Like
Yeah,
that's
I mean,
him.
I just couldn't tell like if that was him or not.
I think it is.
See, I didn't. I don't know. It may have been. I couldn't tell.
I had to
Uh,
look up, but I got thinking. I was like, you know what? That might actually be
he
Screech.
got
Like I don't know
ripped
where.
if that's him.
Although actually, maybe
I
it
don't
is.
think it is.
But
I
then
don't know if that's him.
but I actually got to thinking that I thought actually Screech may have passed away.
Actually, yeah, I think he did.
So that may not have been Screech.
Let's find that up real quick.
Yeah, I don't know. Say Screech from Saved by the Bell. Just figure out if he's actually even alive.
Yes, he did pass away. Yeah, I don't.
He
I
did. Okay.
yeah, I
I
didn't
thought
think
he
that was
did
him.
actually.
Okay, well, anyways, so basketball stars, you had Kelsey Plum, Bobin, Mora Javogic, however you say it. Some more stars, Bad Bunny, Nikki Garcia, uh, and they're I don't know, they're Eminem. There's so many cameos.
Yeah.
But uh, Colton, what is your initial like?
Oh man.
Actually, hold on. I want to ask you because I know what you're going to say. I think who's the winners and who are the losers of Happy Gilmore 2? Like just for
Oh,
the show.
the
They're not show the movie itself. Like what? Who's the winners and who's the losers? Like of like when you watch it, you're like, wow, that was that was a shot at so and so, or like
yeah,
that.
yeah.
Oh,
No,
who
the
won that?
winners is the PGA Tour. The winners is the PGA Tour. Not only because look, and I'm not going to be here to necessarily spoil the whole thing for anyone that may happen to listen to this and haven't watched it for some reason, but obviously, if you paid attention in the golf world at all, you have the PGA Tour and the Live rivalry. And this movie really is almost I mean, it's a cameo of that, right? Of what's going on in the golf world. I mean, essentially, Happy helps save the PGA Tour. Like that's what he's here to do. And they're on a mission to take on this new tour that's crazy, that's all about fun and all this other stuff. Well, it makes it seem like Live, but the best thing is that they
Who
had
are
a
the
couple of the
guys
prime Live golfers
that are
that
on?
were representing the PGA Tour and talking about traditional golf and how it is. So maybe, maybe they're kind of like, oh, that's just ironic. They did that on purpose. They put these guys. But, I mean, Brooks Koepka and Bryson DeChambeau, I think, are two guys that I really believe wish they were still on the PGA Tour. I
Mhm.
truly believe that. I think that they are two of the guys that you've heard Koepka talk and you've heard Bryson like want to be competitive with these guys. He wants to make like he loves his stuff, but he also wants to be like in
He
the
wants to be
winner
playing against the
circle,
best.
correct. And so I think that those are the two guys that they use for Live to represent this in this movie. To me, PGA Tour is a winner in this movie, man. I mean, it's just
Absolutely.
I mean, it literally makes it seem like Live is like a childish thing. Like it's like a
Yeah.
game. Like it's the worst thing ever. So I mean,
For I agree with you 100%. But so for me on this movie, I think that, and like I said, I don't want to ruin it for anybody, which I don't think anybody listening to our podcast probably hasn't watched it. But just in case, this is not a movie that you can watch by itself. Uh, like there are some like sequels of a movie, or not a sequel, but like you can watch the part two by itself and it still be a good movie, and you understand everything. I don't really think that about this movie. I think that this is the way that it was filmed, the plot, the story behind it is perfect for what it was meant to be. Like
yeah,
it's not a movie that you can just go watch and be like, "Oh, this is it's a great movie, makes sense." You have to watch Happy Gilmore. It's more of a nostalgic movie than anything. I feel like it
yeah,
brings you back to good memories of the original Happy Gilmore, along with a bunch of cameos and stars who were funny. And it's I mean, here's what I'll say. I think they're doing something right. Whether people liked it or disliked it, they got the views that they were expecting. I mean, it's literally blowing off the
right,
charts of Netflix. I mean, it's insane the
right.
amount of views that they had
Well,
for opening weekend.
I think the biggest thing is they found the perfect combination of how you're an original movie like that. There's no way of making, and especially a comic, like there's no way of making one that's going to be better than that.
Yeah.
So how do you combine the original with the modern
Uh
and
huh.
make it funny, right? And that's what they done. They used the characters from the old one, right? As many characters that were still left. They
Yeah.
had constant flashbacks to the old scenes and added those cameos in it and those memories. And then they
Yeah.
added the modern world of golf and live
Yeah.
and PGA and they combined them and they made comedy out of it. And it was just the perfect combination because like, I'll take like Karen, right? She had just what you talked about Claire, right?
Yeah.
Just or was it Claire? They had just
Yeah.
watched
It
Happy
was Claire.
Gilmore.
She just watched. We haven't
Yeah,
watched it. She hasn't got to watch it
yeah.
too.
So
Happy over two
so so
yet, but
Karen had just watched Happy Gilmore for the first time, like right before Happy Gilmore 2 came out, because she saw it was coming out and all the stuff. She
yeah.
likes Adam Sandler, but she had never seen it. And she watched it, and she enjoyed it, but like she enjoyed Happy Gilmore 2 more because she's not as much into like older movies, and she didn't grow up watching Happy
Yeah.
Gilmore. So like now it's older to her compared to like we grew up watching this movie
Yeah.
and we have such a respect for it. And so that's why I was saying, like, it got her to watch it. I loved it because of the flashbacks. She loved it
Yeah.
because of the funniness of the modern, and
Yeah.
it drew both crowds.
I like what you said though. I think it was really the I loved like the modernness of it, like the whole scene. Like just for example, the Scotty Scheffler scene where he punches a guy and the cops come get him. He's like, "Not again!" Like that. That's
Right.
hilarious. Like that's
Yeah.
perfect. But no,
Or
there was
Salatoris, like
yeah, well,
Salatoris being like actual the guy, like
it
because
looks just like it.
he got made fun of it for the last couple of years. Like they were like,
Yeah,
hey, like as soon as he got on tour, they were like, look, this is like pretty much happy for he's
yeah.
from Happy Gilmore, and now he actually got to play that guy from Happy Gilmore.
And he was a good actor too.
Oh my goodness!
Like,
Like I mean, when he's like, "That's your name," and he walks up to him, he's like, "That's my name." He's like, "You idiot."
no, if there was one thing that I kind of was, it didn't ruin the movie by no means, but I was just like, didn't see that coming. Was his wife dying? I hate to throw that out there,
Oh
but I
yeah,
mean,
early.
like
Oh
early,
yeah,
like I mean, like what
yeah.
was it?
I did
Maybe
not see it.
5 minutes into it, like,
Oh, it was immediately into it. Yeah,
like didn't see that one coming. I was like, I mean, it didn't ruin it because she wasn't but she was a big character in the first one, so it was kind of like,
yeah,
what's the reasoning here? Like, is she didn't want to be a part of it? Is this just that's what they want to do?
yeah.
But anyways, it was a great movie. If you've not watched it, hopefully we didn't ruin it for you, but I don't think it can ruin it for you because it was a really, really good movie. If you've watched Happy Gilmore, the first one, then you're gonna love it, I think. But I think it done everything that it needed to. So,
Yep, I agree.
Cody, you got anything else?
Nope, it's been a good episode. Hopefully, we
Oh
have
yeah.
Mason back next week. We hope y'all continue to listen in. Football is right around the corner. Kentucky, college football as long as so we'll get some more Kentucky stuff coming up, and then basketball will be here before you know it. So we'll start
That's
ramping
right.
up even more here soon. So we appreciate everyone continue to listen in.
As always, go Cats.
Go Cats.
That's a wrap for this episode of Bluegrass State of Mind. If you enjoyed the show, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe so you never miss an episode. Also, be on the lookout for our social media pages and be sure to follow them. We've got plenty more stories, insights, and conversations coming your way. And if you really loved it, make sure to share it with a friend. From the hills to the hollers, thanks for tuning in. Until next time, keep that Kentucky spirit strong.